Oh, mate, where do I start? What a day. Obviously, in that room, my opponent wasn't there, but it's the room full of everyone, so there's people in there that are going to be fighting later on, so the room is just a tense place. That was the first time where, like, my anxiety and nerves started to go up, and I was like, right, just stay calm. Made a point of being present, so like I was just looking around thinking, just soak this all in, like sort of get familiar with this room. You're going to walk out of there later and I want this to feel the exact same. For me, it's just always about staying calm, staying relaxed, so that was my main focus. They said, look, you're fighting at 10, I was meant to be fighting at 8, and I was like, but it was cool, you know. And Corey made a good point. He's like, look, if you want to keep winning these fights, you got to get used to headlining, you got to get used to walking out late and everyone being here for you. Like, keep a lid on your emotions and like make that walk. You want to get good, you're going to keep winning. Eventually you're going to be in this spot. You're in this spot now, it's upwards from here. So that was a cool insight into his mindset, so shout out Corey Tate. I get my hands wrapped, and then that's when stuff gets real, you know, like, right, we're doing this. Once I start warming up, we're doing this. Before you walk out, he was saying your mind is just going to mess with you. There's points in there where you're like, what am I doing? Why am I even doing this? I want to go home. Like, those thoughts rush through your head. Anyone that said they don't, maybe they're different. The emotions are almost secondary, because you're going to make that walk regardless. You've got to feel some type of way, so you just got to remind yourself why you're here. Trust the training that you've done and kind of trust the process. It's wild though. It's a wild headspace, and it's a roller coaster of emotions. I was having these thoughts of like, just go home. For me, you've got to just push through that sort of self-doubt, that bullshit, that little voice in your head that's saying to you, go home, sack this off, this is scary, you're going to be fighting later on. Thankfully, I didn't have the voice that says you hadn't worked hard enough. That's never going to be an issue for me. Never ever going to be an issue for me. I put everything into this fight camp, and I took peace in that as well. Even on fight day and leading up to it, I was like, I've done everything humanly possible that I can do to win this fight. Your mind will mess with you before walking out there, and you've got to remember that that's going on in the opposition corner as well. They're feeling the exact same. So the walkout, like, the nerves were building, but again, super present, looking around, taking it all in, knowing that you don't get too many of these. Like, we don't play Sunday League football. This is not every weekend. Like, this will come to an end one day, and you've just got to embrace it while you're here. Face off, touch gloves, right, we're in, walk out straight away, feeling him out. He hits me with a shot, and I see him smile at me. He smiles at me as if like, oh, I've got your number. I'm like, cool, we haven't grappled yet, so wait for this. Shot in on a double, built up to a body lock, actually took him down once, he got back up, took him down twice with the same takedown, and took him down a third time with the same takedown. And I said to myself in there, there's the thoughts I was getting, I was like, I'm going to take your back next time you're down. So I took his back, and literally it was like training. I was a little bit more, everything was a little bit harder, more like physically demanding, but I knew I could push that for 3-3s, and I knew once I got him down, I'll just beat him to the next position. I'll control him, I'll take half guard, he'll give me a mount, and I was just winging these shots, landing these shots, and I can feel like my hand, I can feel his head echoing, like my hands pulsate while I'm hitting him with these shots. I'm like, this is great, this is gonna get waved off here, surely. And then he's moaning, saying back of the head, I sneak the choke in, don't get it. Right, back to the shots, back to the shots. And then he gives his neck, I took it. It's the best feeling, it's alleviating, It's wild, it's hard to explain, but it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And then just, again, taking it all in, everyone around me, just everything, it's just nuts. It is absolutely nuts. And then afterwards, it's like, this is my moment. Like, this is the glory. This is what's on the other side of the fear. And you get out, you see everyone, and it's just like, I knew I could do it. I knew I could do it. Like, fuck that little voice in my head that was saying, oh, don't do it, go home. Like, fuck that little voice, you know. You've got to get through it. And the other side of it is just the best, literally the best.
Way back into the gym, and still.